So break-even charts we have covered. So now let's see their advantages first. What are the advantages of using break-even chart? You already know much. Okay, the use of chart. Notice some you might be knowing and some you might not be. So let's discuss them one by one. First is identify break-even point of production. Yes, this is an advantage we everybody knows. Okay, whoever actually is familiar with break-even chart. But you need to develop this point. Okay, it identifies the break-even point of production. You need to have to match it to achieve that. If data is like for and we can to that level. So then you can take some steps. You take some measures as a business. Secondly, you can see, like for example, as a business, you have two different. Okay, sorry. Let me give you an example. Let's say one option is to expand your existing shops
सर
in
आपकी आवाज अटक
an
अटक के
area. Let's say if you are in a okay, all right. I think I'm right now using my mobile data. So okay, let me see. Um, okay, now is it clear? Is it clear now or not?
यस ठीक है
Okay, all right. So now if you feel that my voice is not clear, let me know. I will switch my network actually. So identify now. So I explained you. That's why identifying break-even point of production is extremely important because businesses can see, I told you earlier, where their break-even level is and when they will start getting profit. Okay, because after break-even point, profit starts. So if there are two options and you are having a chain of shops where you sell specialized sports bicycles, so you want to expand your business further by opening more shops. Second is in the same area. Second is you want to export your bicycles to other countries. Now, these are two options. So, break even point of production will help you in that regard, even break even chart. That which option to choose. You have two options and you want to pick one of them. So, what you do, you draw break even chart and see that where the break even level of output is. So, for example, for exports, the break even level of output comes at 2,500 units. Whereas if you expand your or open more branches in the same local area, so your break-even level is 1,000 units. So by the look of it, it looks that it is better to expand by opening more branches in the same area rather than exporting it, because when you export it will take more time to achieve break even, and it means if more time will be taken by the business to start earning profit, then there is more risk involved because business has to survive without getting profit for a longer time period. I hope you are getting my point. So that is actually the way you can develop this point, that why identifying break even point of production is important, because it is obtained through break even chart, and I just explained the usefulness or of this point, or I developed that point to a level where the examiner can give you maximum marks. Any question regarding the development of first point to anyone?
सर आई कैन नॉट सी द स्क्रीन
You cannot see the screen. Only you or the others as well?
Sir, I do not know what
Sir,
are the.
I also can't see the screen, so it's
Yeah.
probably that no one can see the screen.
All right. All right. All right. Yeah. Now I think it's visible. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you can develop your point, as I told you earlier, that break-even chart helps identify break-even point of production, and why finding the break-even level of output is important, because businesses can choose between options, which option to choose, which option to not. That, for example, if an option has an earlier break-even, businesses would like to choose that option compared to the option where break-even is achieved late. Okay. So and it also helps businesses to see where their level of output is, so they try to reach that level of output, okay, as early as possible. Like, for example, if the break even level of output is 1000, so businesses which are newly set up, they will try to produce 1000 units as early as possible, so that they will start getting profit earlier after the break even, okay. And there are other ways, other use benefits also of finding or identifying break-even point, is that if you know that your break-even point is at 1000, then you can devise strategies. How can we bring it down? Like, how can we achieve it at 500? Okay. So one is that you try to achieve the break-even point early by producing more, so that you can reach to that level, that is 1000. And the second way is you can bring that break-even level down to a level which you can feel that you are comfortable in achieving it earlier. So it means that break-even chart is very important, especially for the businesses which are newly set up, or businesses which are planning to choose between two options as a growth strategy. All right. So if you move on to the next, calculate maximum profit. You know about it as well, that we can calculate maximum profit as well. Now let me just show you the diagram so that you can come to know maximum profit is always calculated at maximum level of output. Remember, okay. Let me just find it out for you again. I'll use the same example we were using. Let me just get it. Here it is. Okay. So let's say we want to find maximum profit, okay, of this question, this one, right? And the data is given, you know that. So what is the formula to calculate profit? Everybody knows, okay. Um, Let me do it there, right? I'll be using it here. So profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. You know that, okay. And if you want to calculate maximum profit, so remember I am writing it there. This is the formula, right? General formula of profit, you know. So maximum profit is always calculated at maximum level of output. Remember, maximum level of output, because that is the capacity. Beyond that, business cannot produce. Okay. So maximum profit is always calculated at maximum level of output. Now let's find it out. Okay. Now using the same formula. So now maximum profit. This is max profit, right? So is equal to total revenue at now, because we are calculating it at maximum level of output. So we need to see total revenue at maximum level, because total revenue is at point is at 10,000 units as well, 20,000 units as well, 30,000 and 40,000. But we know that maximum sorry total revenue, for calculating maximum profit, we will take total revenue at maximum level of output, and that is where, there it is. You can see that this is the total revenue at maximum level, because here we have taken the units, that is 40,000, and this is the maximum level. You can see that this is the maximum level of 40,000. These four zeros are there, na? So don't get confused. This is 40,000. So we'll get, what is the total revenue? 400,000. So we'll take it there. Okay, we'll use it there in the formula. So this is 400, sorry, thousand minus total cost. Again, we'll take the total cost at the maximum level of output. So let's see what is our total cost at the maximum level. Have we calculated it? Yes, we have. This is because we did that earlier. This is output at 40,000. Okay, and total cost is so fixed cost is 100,000, and variable cost we calculated by multiplying output with variable cost per unit, that is 5. So we get 300,000. That is at max. This is the total cost at maximum level of output. So we'll take it there, right? 300,000. So we'll get the maximum profit in that way, and that is 100,000. So this is how we calculate maximum profit, right? So it's quite simple and not that difficult at all. Okay, so now let's get back to the slide. Now next is, so we can find out maximum profit, and do you know again why we need to find this out using the break-even chart? Can you tell me? Do you really know why maximum profit is important to calculate? That how much profit you can earn. This is not the profit which you are actually or currently earning. This is a profit which you can earn if you produce maximum level of output. This is the maximum profit. So why it is important to know about it? Anybody? Any idea? Or no idea?
Sir, so that the business would not increase their cost so that they know how much profit that they can make. Like, for example, they won't cross their limits on the costs so
Okay,
that
all
they
right.
can get profit.
Manha, good. It means that if they know the what is the maximum profit, so they can decide that whether this is the profit which is acceptable. Like if they reach to the maximum level, and if the maximum profit is not sufficient, businesses either will try to reduce their cost so that maximum profit can be achieved. Okay, or what they can do, they can reject that option which is available. Like for example, if business has two options, the example I gave you earlier, exporting their specialized bicycles abroad, or extending their branches to other parts in the same area. So if they feel that extending branches in the same area will give them the maximum profit, which is not acceptable to the owners, so either they can find ways to reduce the cost so that maximum profit can be increased, that is one way, or they can simply choose exporting specialized bicycles abroad. Why? Because maybe there is higher maximum profit there. So it again helps business to decide about which decision is better for business success or which option to choose. Okay, so maximum profit actually tells that this is the profit which they can earn at the max. So they need to know whether this is acceptable to them or not. All right. So then expected profit or loss at different levels of output. Yes, that is also possible. Very achievable. That whatever level of output you are right now, you can see that what amount of profit or loss is there. Like let me just give you an idea. Um, Using the same example here, like let's say, okay, let me give you another example. Let me just close it. Just a minute. See, let's say, this is the this is total cost, this is total revenue, right? This is total revenue, and this is total cost, right? And this is the break even, you know. Okay, all right. So now, what is the point? Now I'll show it to. Just a minute. I think unintentionally closed the PowerPoint slides as well. Let me just get it back again. All right. So I just want to show you the the point we are discussing. That is expected profit or loss at different levels of output. So if you want, like right now, this is a break even, you know that. Okay, fine. We understand this is a break even, right? So now, for example, this break even is, let's say this is, oh, just a minute. This is, let's say, 3,000. Okay. So now you want to see the amount of profit a business can earn at 4,400 units. So this is easy, na? How you can just see the difference between total revenue and total cost. So how do you get it? Let me know. Let me tell you. So what you will do, you will actually take this point, which is on total revenue, and extend it towards y-axis. Do you know why? Because we take cost and revenue here. You know that cost and revenue there. Okay. So we'll read the value from there. Let's say the value is, for example, the value is 500. Okay. Then you will take the point. You will take this point um, on the same level, that is total cost, because we are finding out what amount of profit business can earn at 400, right? So now we'll take the point on total cost. We'll actually extend it towards y-axis. Again, let's say it is, this is 400, right? So now it's quite easy that the gap which is right there, this is equal to how much? This is 400, right? This is 400, this gap. So we can, it means that at any level of output, by drawing a break-even chart, we can see that what amount of profit business can earn, right? So again, that is one of the usefulness of the break-even chart. This is how you interpret, or you can find out the values of total revenue, total cost, and profit as well. So in the paper, they might ask you, they may draw a diagram and ask you to find out the profit using the break-even chart. So you can find it this way as well, or you can use the values as well using the formula, right? Okay, then we have next is impact on break-even point with various business decisions, right? Now we need to understand this impacts on break-even point with various business decisions. Now let's see how it happens. Let's discuss how, what kind of decisions can have an impact on break-even point. Let's see. Now let's say this is a break-even, okay, and let me see, and let me write here. Break-even is, let's say, 500 units. Okay. Now business feels this is too far away. Okay. So they want to bring that, or they can make changes to affect the break even. Now let me tell you, there are two ways to bring the break even down. Okay. One is you can increase price. Increase price. Okay, this is one. Second is you can reduce the cost if possible. Reduce cost or increase price. Like let's say if your price was earlier $10, so you can change it to $20. Okay. So now what will happen, that if you plot the total revenue curve, the slope will be different. Okay, because now the value is this one, $20 rather than 10. Okay, so what will happen, the total revenue curve, the slope will be steeper. Okay, it will be like this. Why? Because now you have to multiply output with, not with 10, now you have to multiply output with $20. So every time you will get a higher value. Simple as that, right? So it means that your total revenue curve will be, the slope will be steeper. Okay, this is now you can see that now where is the break even if we only use this strategy, increasing price. So now the break even is right there. There is no change in total cost. You have just increased the price. So total revenue will move upwards quickly, okay, because of higher price. And now you can see that the break even can be achieved earlier. Let's say this is 300. See, so it means that one business decision can have an impact on break even, and we can see that impact on break even using the break even chart. So now this is not the break even. This was the old break even. Now this is the new break even, and we can say break even one. Okay, so this is, so you can now, there are two things you need to remember. One, while taking a business decision, you can see the impact on break even level of output using the break even chart. And secondly, you can think of reducing your break even level as well. Okay, like when you increase your price by drawing a break even chart, you can see that how quickly or how early we can achieve the break even. So rather than achieving it at 500, you can achieve it at 300. Right? Similarly, let me remove this now, otherwise it will make a mess of it now. All right, now let's say we do not change the price, we reduce the cost. Let's say cost is $5, okay, and you uh, actually try to reduce it some way or the other. Like, let's say you ask some workers to leave, okay, you buy a relatively lower quality raw material, or you switch to a supplier who can offer you the same raw material at a low price, right? So whatever way you choose, you are able, let's say you are able to bring your cost down to $2, okay, instead of 5. So now what will happen? Total cost curve will be less steeper. Remember, like total cost will start from there, but now it will go like this. Why? Because now instead of multiplying it with $5, you will be, let me tell you, like, you know that the total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost, you know that. And to find out variable cost, you know that, what do? We multiply variable cost per unit with the quantity, right? So now earlier you were multiplying quantity with variable cost, that was 5, okay. Now you won't multiply it with 5, you will multiply it with 2 only. So variable cost won't increase to the same level as it was rising earlier. So what will happen, that it will affect the total cost as well, because variable cost is part of a total cost, right? So now it will be using $2 because the cost has gone down. Okay, so if this happens, obviously the total cost um, will be less steeper, and this will be the new total cost curve. Now you can again see, when you do this strategy, if you use this one, right? So now you can see again that the break even level is achieved earlier. Now it's right there. This is the new break even, and now you might achieve it at the output 400, right? 400. So again you can achieve it earlier. And so these are the business decisions, like related to price and cost, which can have an impact on break even point or break even level of output. And you can see that by drawing a break even chart as well, right? So that's we are done with this point, right? Which one? Impact on BEP, break even point, with various business decisions. Okay, then helps in decision making. Yes, I told you that whether we should increase our price or reduce our cost. Okay, this is also I explained you. So both are covered now. You can think of whether to increase the price or to reduce the cost, and you can see the impact of that on the profit, on the break even level of output. Okay, and then you can make your decision in a better way. Margin of safety, I explained you, so I'm not going to explain you. This is actually a value which tells you that how safe the business is from the loss. Even if you lose sales by a certain amount, you might not be suffering loss. So if it is within the range of margin of safety, so we discussed it earlier as well. Now the disadvantages, let's discuss them. Disadvantage number one, assumes all goods produced are sold. Do you know, because you all study accounting as well, okay, so you must be very clear that whatever business produces, they are not able to sell it at the same time, and that is why you always find one item there in your statement of financial position, and that is what we call inventory. Okay, inventory is a very common item which we actually find in our statement of financial position. So that means whenever you produce items, you wait for the customers, you wait for the orders, okay, and then you deliver the goods. So it might be possible that all goods are not sold, and you have to keep it for the future, that orders will come again, and then we'll be able to sell that stock as well. Inventory is stock, right? The old name of inventory is stock. So then you will be able to sell it. But in break-even chart or break-even analysis, they assume that whatever is produced is sold in the market. This is not the case. Huh? You know that sometimes it happens you produce it in a year, but you are not able to sell all of them. So what do? You actually make it your closing inventory at the end of the year, and then it becomes the opening inventory in the next year, right? So it happens that sometimes the whole year you are not able to sell all of the items which you produce in that year. So this happens, but they do not assume, and this is a wrong assumption, that whatever is produced is sold in the market. Okay, so that is again, this is one of the disadvantage. Then we have fixed cost constant only if scale of production does not change. Now I need to explain that to you as well. Let me use this. Now let's say they say in break-even analysis, I explained you that they say this is the fixed cost, right? This is the fixed cost, and this is a completely horizontal line, and that shows that there is no link with the output. Doesn't matter whatever the output, fixed cost will remain the same. Let's say that is $100, okay, but they say fixed cost can change as well. Okay, how? Let's say you run a factory in a building, okay, now, and you produce certain items. Then let's say you scale of production. I explained you, scale of production means you extend your building. When you extend your building, so let's say you are paying rent, okay, and rent is, let's say, this is, let's say, rent that is 100, okay. Now when you extend the building or you hire another building, so obviously you have to pay more rent. So instead of 100, you might be paying 200, okay. So it will increase. Let's say after producing at this level, let me just tell you, there are different levels. This is 0. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
स्क्रीन पे भी चली गई है.
Screen. Let me see. How is it possible? Nobody is able to see, और आपको अभी नहीं नजर आ रहा?
फिर वो बाकियों से पूछें.
सर आई
आप
कुड
बताएं.
सी, पर अब नहीं आ रहा बिकॉज आपने बंद कर दिया.
मैंने बंद नहीं किया वैसे, लेकिन अच्छा, anyway, all right. Maybe today is maybe having a problem because I'm using my mobile data, so it doesn't work that well as my home network. But because of some reason, I'm not able to use it at the moment. Okay, now it's back. The screen is back, right? So and whenever screen is not there, do let me know that we are not able to see it. Now this is fixed cost. Generally, you know that. But I'm telling you, if let's say you hire another building and now rent of the building is 200, okay. So what will happen? Let me just show you that. Just a minute. Yeah. So what will happen? Let's say after 1,000 units, let me write 000 here so that you can understand. This is 000, 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000. This is the level of output. So after 1000, you hire another building as well. Okay. So what will happen now? Your fixed cost will also increase like this. It will jump like this. Okay, jump like this all of a sudden, because obviously you have hired another building and you have to pay the rent of that building as well. And now again it will start moving flat, because to show that it has no relation with the output. Fixed cost has changed because of some other reason. As I told you, you hired another building, so you increase your scale of production and you have to pay more rent of the building. Simple as that. So your rent will increase. Now it will reach to 200, but it has nothing to do with the level of output. Again, after some time, maybe the rent may increase further. This is quite possible. And then again it goes flat. And this flat line means that it has no link with the level of output at all. So it means fixed cost can change when, if you are increasing your scale of production, you are hiring more land, more labor, more capital. I told you what is scale of production. Huh? Scale of production is just not increasing your production. It is increasing your capacity, hiring more labor, hiring more land, hiring more capital, right? So that is why in that case, if scale of production increases, fixed cost can also change. So they assume that fixed cost is actually a straight line. Fixed cost constant only if scale of production does not change. But scale of production can change, na? A business can plan any time to expand, so they can hire more factors of production. So that is another disadvantage. Then ignores other aspects of the business which need to be analyzed. What are those other aspects? Like I told you, if there are two options, again I'll give you the example with the diagram. Um, just let me remove all this. Yeah, okay. So let's say you have option option level. The break-even at is, let's say, 4,000 units. 4,000 units. That if you produce and sell 4,000 units, you will be able to achieve break-even level. Whereas this is for option. And for okay, so if we are doing break-even analysis, so this is quite obvious that we actually will be choosing which option. Obviously, we will be choosing option number B. Why? Because it is achieved at 3,000. So profit will start after 4,000 units. That's why we will simply reject that. Right? But there is a problem. Problem is option B. Yes, break-even is achieved early, but there are some, let me tell you, government restrictions. Okay, then there is let's say some pressure groups. Okay, then there are some or let me rather pressure groups, I'll write environmental issues. Now, because these are not measured in terms of numbers or values, that's why they are not under consideration as far as break-even analysis is concerned. So it looks at option B is far better, but break-even chart is simply ignoring these two big issues: government restriction and environmental. So you choose option B, and later on, government increases the risk or imposes fines and penalties on that business that you cannot expand much here in that area because of a certain reason. Or there are environmental issues that here the people The area is very crowdy and a lot of people, and maybe nearby there is a residential area, and people health is being affected by the amount of pollution the business is making, right? So again, a bad image can be spread and people may not like to buy, because especially those people who are environmentally aware, who feel that it is the responsibility of businesses to take care of the people living nearby as well, right? So because of these two factors which will be ignored, this option might not be a success. But from break-even analysis, it looks quite obvious that business should choose option B. So that is the point I am making, that it ignores other aspects of the business which need to be analyzed. They only consider cost, revenue, and profit. The other items, other factors which are not measured in terms of money or numbers, they are simply ignored. So that's why sometimes businesses choose an option by looking at the break-even, and as they come up closing down, it becomes a failure because the other factors are not considered. Right now, straight lines not realistic. Again, let me tell you about that as well. Actually, what happens that uh, again it is actually studied in A level, but because there is a disadvantage, so we need to get to know about it to some extent. Okay, let's say you know that we not curves, they are simply straight lines. So actually, I won't go into that detail, but I'll tell you that generally the total revenue they are like this way. Okay, and total cost curve they are like this, right? So this is total cost curve, and this is total revenue. There is a reason, but again, we do not need to know the reason about it. Again, because as far as O level is concerned, it's not required, because otherwise I have to explain you too much there, which is not relevant. But you need to understand these look like curves, okay, and these are the general way to draw total cost and total revenue curve. But this is not done while drawing a break-even chart, right? So this is also one of the disadvantage there. You can draw this diagram as well while developing your point if you want to. So that's it. And then let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, so we covered that break-even equation or the calculation method, that is total fixed cost over contribution per unit. We covered that, okay? And what is contribution? Contribution is selling price minus variable cost. Okay, so I told you contribution is not same as profit. Do you know why contribution is not same as profit? Because we have to subtract another cost from the selling price, and that is fixed cost, because cost has two elements, variable and fixed. So when we subtract fixed cost, we'll get profit, right? So when we subtract variable cost only, we get contribution. And why do we call it contribution? Because it shows that because fixed cost is still to be covered, so how much contribution is there from the selling price to cover its fixed cost. Okay, so
Sir,
this
if
is
I'm
how
not wrong, its contribution is gross profit, the same thing.
contribution and the gross profit. Okay, generally what happens, because you can say, because in while drawing or calculating gross profit, we always subtract variable cost from the revenue, right? So you are right in that we can say revenue minus variable cost is contribution. Yes, that's right. So, but because there are, we actually take it simply that selling price minus variable cost is, but to subtract other costs like depreciation, salaries, then electricity bills. So these are covered after gross profit. So when you subtract that, you get the final profit, and which we call profit for the year, or the old name is net profit. So good point raised by you, yeah, yeah. All right, then Um, Now, this is a question and you will be doing it, okay? So just see, let me read it for you. A fast food restaurant sells meals for $6 each, okay? The variable cost of preparing and serving each meal are $2. The monthly fixed costs amount to 3600. This is the data given to you, right? Now, draw a break-even chart to show how many meals must be sold each month for the restaurant to break even. You don't have to do it because I have already given you a question based on drawing a break-even chart. Here, we'll just find it out with the help of calculation method. So quickly find it out using the calculation method. Okay, just you know the formula, right? So give me the answer. What is or what should be done? Which values to be used? Quickly, anybody? Do you know what is the formula? Formula is we take fixed cost as numerator, that is 3600, right? And we divide it by selling price minus variable cost. So what is the selling price? 6. What is the variable cost? $2. So 6 minus 2, 4. So it means 3600 divided by 4. So what do we get? We get 900. Yes, very good, Abdullah Zahid. Yes, 900 is the break even. Very good. That's great. So I can do it there as well. There, right? So this was 3600 was the fixed cost. We divided it by selling price minus variable cost, 6 minus 2, and we got the answer. That is 3600 divided by 4, and the answer is 900. Okay, now see what is the next question. Now we know that the break even is 900. Now next part B, if the restaurant sold 1500 meals in 1 month, what was the profit made in that month? Can you calculate it? How to calculate it? Just let me know. 1500, if they sell 1500 meals, you know price is 6, variable cost is 2, and the monthly fixed cost is 3600. So you say, okay, Abdullah, you say 600 is the profit. Let's find it out whether Abdullah Zahid is correct or not. So you know that how do we calculate total revenue? That is price into quantity. So here you know that price is how much? 6. And what is the quantity they are talking about? 1500. Okay, because they are talking about what will be the profit at 1500 meals. So we'll first find out the total revenue. So it will be total revenue is equal to 900, right? Then we'll find out the total cost at the same level. So, and you know that what is the formula? Fixed cost plus again variable cost. Okay, and now we'll put the values in it. Total cost is equal to fixed cost is how much? That is 3600, right? And for variable cost, I told you earlier, this is a total variable cost actually. Like this is total fixed cost and this is total variable cost. But we are always given variable cost per unit. And what is it? Variable cost is, you can see that, $2. Okay. So we'll take, and what is the output? 1500. So we'll take 1500, that is the output level, into variable cost per unit, that is 2. Right? Now the answer is 3600 plus, now 15 to 2 will get 3000. So total cost is equal to how much? 6600. Got it? Now it's easy. Okay, I think there is 1 0 required here. Total revenue is not 900, it is 9000. Right? 15 6 are 9000. Right. Okay, now we need to find out the profit. So profit at 1500 meals, because it's a restaurant, so we are not saying output, we are saying meals. Okay, because their output is meals, simple as that. So you know the formula, profit, that is total revenue. Yes.
सर वो आपकी और इंग्लिश की क्लास में क्लैश आ रहा है.
Now.
Yes sir.
Okay, all right. So I'm finishing it quickly, and then you can join it because I need to talk to the management, but they were not picking up the phone. I will call them now as well. Okay, all right. Now see quickly. Now, what is the, you know, the formula of calculating profit? Total revenue minus total cost. So what is the total revenue? Total revenue is, we just calculated it. You can see that this is 9,000, right? So we'll take it there. So we'll write 9,000, and what is the total cost? Again, we calculated that, that is 6,600. So we'll take it there, 6,600. So now what is the answer now? Do you know? This will be 2,400. So Abdullah Zahid, your answer is not correct, na? This is 2,400, 9,000 minus 6,600. So this is the answer of part B. So any problem in this question? No problem, right? Okay, so Yaya, I know that English class is important, but because I need to cover this quickly, I will set you free earlier, right? I won't actually
Thank you.
go.
I know that, but I was just telling that there's problem. मैनेजमेंट से बात कर.
ओके, बिल्कुल करूंगा करूंगा। ये हम आगे बाद में करेंगे। लास्ट इसका हम देख लेते हैं पॉइंट। वैसे भी द नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट दैट मच टुडे। सी पार्ट सी, if the cost of the food ingredients rose by $1 per meal, what would be the new break-even level of production? Now they are saying that now cost of the food ingredients. Tell me first, either it is a fixed cost or a variable cost. Who can tell me that? Cost of food ingredients. What is it? Zainab, what do you think? Is it a fixed cost or a variable cost? Zainab, no idea? Okay, yeah, variable cost. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it is a variable cost. So it means now because it has risen by $1. So now instead of $2 of variable cost, because earlier the variable cost was $2, now we'll take it as $3, right? So we'll use the same formula there because earlier the break even was 900 units. Okay, now I'll use the same formula there. We'll write fixed cost, that is 3,600. Okay, that was given in the question. Then selling divided by selling price, that is 6, minus, now we won't use the previous value, that is 2 for variable cost. We'll take 3 because they have clearly mentioned that the cost of food ingredient has risen by $1 and that is a variable cost. So now we'll get 3,600 divided by 3 and we'll get the answer, and that is 1,200. Okay, so it means when the cost increases, our break even level of output has gone up as well. Okay, and that is not good for the business, you know that, because now profit will start late. Earlier the profit would have started after 900. Now it would start after 1,200 meals. So that is not good for the business at all, right? So I'll stop here and we'll continue from this point onwards. So thank you very much. See you in the next class.
खुदा हाफिज़.